Janet Try It Like It Created, and today we're going to be doing a stamping technique with water and distressed oxide. So I am using Faded Jeans and Iced Spruce. I have pulled a stamp off of this pack I got from Aladyne, Duo Clear Stencil. So I'm using the leaf here, and this is called, I believe this is Sweet Dream is the set. Yeah, that's all I see is, oh, it says Plumes. There we go. 04320 Plumes. And then I have a spray bottle of water. I have a rag off to the side. I have some wet glue. I have a word from my printable page I'll link to, and then a stamping block with our stamp on it. So to start with our tag, we're going to take our distressed oxide and take it right to the paper and just smear it on there. You want a pretty heavy application, and we want to cover the whole tag with ink. So you might want to do that, you might want to do that in one color, or you may find yourself wanting to do it in multiple colors like I am. Entirely up to you, but we want to get color on the whole tag. And so once doing this with the green, I may have to go over it again with some of the blue. So I'm going to go back and forth here until I have the whole thing covered. And a solid color might work better. We'll find out together on this. So, all right. So there is my background. And then I am just going to move this off to the side and kind of clean up here just a little bit with a baby wipe. We have a dry baby wipe here, so I just need to add a little bit of water to get this cleaned up. And even picking it up, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick it up with a scrap piece of paper first, because we don't want that ink to go to waste. And I can use this to die cut it with, or something similar to that. All right, now I'm going to dry off my space here. So I have this to use for something else in the future. Nothing goes to waste. All right, and then we're going to stamp on top of this with our stamp, but we're going to do it with water. So I'm going to spray water onto my stamp. So I'm being generous there. I can let it run off a little bit onto my cloth off to the side, and I might even just pick up some of the water that's around the stamp just in case it drips. Okay, so the big water drops that were out here is what I wiped off. And so now we're going to stamp this right onto our tag and let the water do its reaction. I'm not squishing too much, I'm just letting it sit there. And then I'm going to lift it off and let that kind of do its ghosting type look. And I like what we're seeing, but I think it might work better on a solid tag. So I do like how it's starting to show up here, but I feel like the background is a little too busy for that, so I'm going to set this aside and do another one. All right, so I started this out on a colored tag background and my image isn't showing up very well, and so I'm going to go at it again. I've got a tag here. I'm going to use one color of ink, and I'm just going to cover the entire tag with blue. You can use any ink pad as long as it reacts with water, and we know that distressed oxides do. All right, so I've created a completely solid blue tag, and then I'm just going to go in and clean up my background here. Maybe add a little water just to get that to pick up some. All right. Now come back with our tag, and I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to spray it with water. All right, I'm going to use the cloth to let it drip off a little bit, and then I'm also going to go in and pick up the water drops around the outside. And just to show you what I'm talking about is the water drops that were out here, in case I don't want them to drip onto our piece. All right, and so now I'm going to take the water and our stamp and go right onto our tag and just let it sit there and react with the ink and lift it off. And we're going to get that ghost image. And then we can take our little word here. I've printed it out on sticker paper. If I can get the back off of it, we could just use it as a sticker. There we go. And decide how we want to do this. All right. And if you want, you can go in and see if you can pick up any more of that ink as it dries. But that is our ghost image background. Now I'm going to dry this with a heat tool and then come back and show you what this looks like. All right, so here is my ghost image. I don't know if you're picking up very much. It is definitely a ghost-like image. And so I'm looking at my stamp over here, and I'm just going to go in and enhance some of the areas that were designed on the stamp itself. I'm not going over all of the lines, just some to enhance the ghost shape. So there, I think that helps bring out the shape. It is very subtle. I think using different inks that react differently with water could help do this as well. But I do like the idea of doing a ghost type image stamping with water. So let me know if you're going to try this technique, if you like this technique, if you've had different results or better results than what we've done here. I would love to hear you share about your projects.